Hi, I'm Pete Peterson.
I'm Ahmed Eldawah.
And I'm Jake Lasser.
And this is
Another podcast.
Podcast boys. What they said.
All right. I hate you. Anyway, what are we talking about today?
I'll tell you what we're talking about. Today's movie of discussion, which was personally picked by me because it is possibly my favorite.
Because you didn't see the
we'll
movie
get
we
into
were going
that.
to see, but that's
is Space Jam, the American classic.
It is truly a classic.
It is a classic.
And the reason we're doing this is because they announced that they're doing a remake with LeBron James, right?
LeBron James,
That's
yes.
true. And the director, I feel bad, I don't remember his name at the moment, but I believe it's the same director who did Black Panther. So
Oh, wow.
get your hopes up.
Really? He's also the guy who did Creed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creed 2.
The first
First
one or the
Creed.
second
And
one?
Creed.
And Creed 2? Is it the same guy? Hey,
I think you
I'm
only
not
did one
going
of
to.
them.
I'm
but
not
We
gonna
do
be
our
quoted with
research.
that.
We
yeah.
have computers right here, but we're not going to use them.
Also, we're probably wrong about all of this stuff. But hey, don't look it up.
No cheating.
We're not going to look it up because we're a professional podcast.
Hey, shut up. Anyway, yeah, Space Jam. But
First things first, let's get into the news. So let's start right off the bat with Gloria Katz, who you may or may not have heard of, who died at 76. She's the script doctor for Star Wars and a couple of other Lucasfilms things, as well as American Graffiti, which I've never heard of. But
You've never heard of American Graffiti?
It's like it was George Lucas's like first like big.
That's a real classic.
Yeah.
I've never even heard.
I mean,
of
I've
that.
never seen it, but like I know what it is.
It's worth seeing.
I
Very,
imagine.
very important historically. Or maybe not. Go on
Maybe.
with your...
Anyway, but yes, I think it's a good thing to just sort of mention it because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if there's anything we've
76, you said?
76, yes, yeah. I
a
think it's
little
very
young.
important to mention because if there's anything we've learned, it's that Star Wars really needed a script doctor because when George Lucas has his way, we get the prequels.
Yeah. Anyway, next bit of news.
Next big news, which is especially exciting, Young Justice Outsiders trailer. Shut up. Let me talk the way I want to talk.
Continue.
The Young Justice trailer for Young Justice Outsiders came out.
Hey, I'm not making fun of you for the Young Justice thing because I too am very excited about that because that was like
Doesn't
my
make
favorite
sense.
show in middle school. But
Yeah,
the way
I
that
love
you
Young
said
Justice.
that,
That's my excited voice.
it's hilarious.
Yes. So how you got, and we've all seen the trailer, right?
Yeah.
What do we think?
I definitely saw it.
It looks good. It looks like
It's probably great.
About.
'cause I saw the
I
trailer.
mean, okay. No need to talk.
That's
God, I'm so
no,
mean
it's
today.
good. Keep going. Play into it.
I mean, it looks like the same. It's like looks exactly what I expected. It's like a little corny and cheesy, but like that's what you expect as a cartoon. It's not. It's like meant for kids. I mean, it's more of a nostalgic thing. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say that Young Justice was particularly aimed at like kids.
No, not like kids, but like it's not like for adults. You know what I mean? It's.
I think. Well, it's not aimed at adults, but I would say that as an adult, you could have watched like the first 2 seasons of Young Justice and enjoyed it.
No, yeah. But like in the same sense that Star Wars is aimed at kids. It's not. You can enjoy it as an adult, but it was made to be for like kids.
It definitely has a target demographic that also happens to expand, a little bit on.
Exactly, but like I think it's just what I want to say. It's a little corny, but like that like is charming.
Yeah, that's part of like what makes it memorable.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. The one thing I'm not excited for is that it's on the DC streaming
Oh, is it?
app only.
Is it?
Along with the soon-to-be world-renowned new classic live-action version of Teen Titans.
That's
Looks
already
so
out,
good.
actually.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I did look at a trailer for Titans, or not trailer, review for Titans, and it's apparently not as bad as the trailers like made it out to seem. Like they advertised it as like dark and gritty, the way you wanted Titans to be, except not actually. But it's actually just like kind of just. It's like a CW show, basically, is what I'm getting from it. What are you guys doing?
Alakazam, the tissues have appeared from nowhere.
I hate you. Anyway,
I hate you so much.
God, I've said that. I don't hate you, Jake. I love you.
No, if you
You're
do, it's
amazing.
fine. I get it.
Yeah, okay, because I do. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, it basically looks a lot like just your standard CW show, and that's fine, I guess. I haven't seen it, so I'm realizing now that I judged it too harshly from the trailers.
But the trailers are so bad.
They're
They
really
are
bad.
so bad. And the one thing about the show that from the review that I saw, is that it has this thing. You know how like a lot of movies nowadays have like the like a tint like on them, like, and Titans basically has like a blue tint consistently all of the time, and it makes it look trash. Essentially, it looks absolutely
Well, yeah, because
terrible.
it's not actual color grading. They just slapped a tint on it after they filmed it. It's not.
Yeah, and it looks trash. And looking at like a fixed version of like just like a small little bit where like they fixed it so that it actually looks how it looked when they filmed it. It looks great. Like the costumes, they don't look trash. Like Robin's costume, like in action, looks really cool because the colors are like actually popping, and you can see like the green and red and everything. But with that like blue tint, it looks like really terrible. So I don't really know why the director, who is apparently known for these kind of blue tints, apparently, I don't know why the director chose to go for that. But that's really stupid, and it just, yeah, whatever. So that probably tells you that there are a lot of bad decisions that went into Titans, but I'm hoping that I don't know where I'm hoping. I don't.
My main complaint with it is that, and again, I haven't seen it either, or I don't know why I said again. I haven't seen it either, but it just seems like DC. They find it a little too easy to just say, oh, okay, well, you know what makes how do we write a tortured, angsty character? Just make him the worst character on the show. Like he has no redeeming qualities until suddenly you find out about his tragic backstory, and then you're supposed to feel bad for him. But like,
I feel that. Yeah.
that just doesn't work.
Snape.
It's not how it works.
Hey, what?
Look, that you just described Snape.
What?
No,
Okay,
all right.
we're not getting into Harry Potter,
I'm
but
just
you're
saying.
wrong.
He had development. They had 8 whole movies to develop him. So
Okay. Yeah, and that not to get into the whole Harry Potter thing, but that like serves a purpose in the story, and I think it was done better in the books.
well,
But in the movies, it's still good, and also friggin' what's
Alan
his face?
Rickman?
Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
You don't say anything bad
if
about
you rag on Alan
Rickman.
Rickman,
Here's the thing.
you're gonna have
the
an
movies,
issue with me.
Alan Rickman
and
is
him.
wonderful. I love him. But Snape in the books is just kind of like, he kind of just sucks, but he like does good things sometimes. And then his like reveal, spoilers if you haven't seen Harry Potter or read the books, which if you haven't at this point, you're not gonna. But his entire motivation is because he was into Harry's mother, and that's dumb.
That's not his motivation.
That is not his whole motivation.
His motivation was he was like bullied by Harry's father and
Folks,
their friends.
I
and, like,
apologize for Ahmed's, generalizing comments on J.K. Rowling's beautiful writing style, and then how it's majestically been brought to the screen. I just like using big words like that, so I'm just gonna quit while I'm ahead.
Majestically. Look, I'm literally like, Dumbledore is like, oh, what's going on? Why do you do this? And then he's like,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Patronus.
No.
Dear
stop,
doe, whatever.
Stop. Can we hear that Dumbledore impression one more time? Go on.
Yeah, Dumbledore.
Leave me alone.
We need to do a Harry Potter episode because
Look,
I would
we
love
will-
to hear all of Ahmed's opinions on Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
comment if you want a Harry Potter episode. Lord knows
will
we
get-
want one.
We're
So-
spending too much time on the Snape thing, and I'm gonna get
Wait,
us back on
no.
track.
You have to finish because you ended. You need to finish your story.
Look, basically, Dumbledore's like, hey, Snape, why are you doing this? And Snape's like, Patronus, and it's like a doe or a deer or whatever the hell, and then it's like, for her, and like Dumbledore's like, this entire time, and he's like, it's always been for her, and it's like, really?
Well, but like that's because Snape was like a double agent or
Yeah.
like a whatever. He's
Yes.
layers,
Layers like an onion.
But he
Or
got her
other things.
killed because he was
Onion.
jealous.
He didn't get her killed.
He told Voldemort that the love of his life's son was the one who was going to kill him because he was angry at the kid's father.
Is that right?
And the kid for existing.
Full disclosure, I don't know if that's right or not. But
that is
that is
literally
possible, and we just don't remember.
okay.
It may not have been the movies. I didn't watch after the 4th movie, but in the books, and I'm talking about the books right now. In the books, that's what happens.
Okay, but
This is not a book podcast.
the whole thing was like
this is a film.
he was like
podcast.
he was a Death Eater, and then he like reformed, and then he was working for Dumbledore, and then he like pretended to be a Death Eater again to
gain the trust of Voldemort.
gain the trust of Voldemort, and then like was like, hey, I'm with you guys.
But
again.
like the reason why he reformed was because he got the Lily killed. That's the reason. Like basically,
that makes sense. If you
it makes
That's like
sense.
a good motivation,
But it's
is that
still like, and then going throughout, the only reason he ever helps Harry is basically because he was still in love with like Lily. He doesn't like sit there and go like, I realized what I was doing was wrong. It's never that. He doesn't say like, I realized by doing what I did, I messed up so badly. I was wrong.
Well, yeah, because that's not Snape's character. He's not just going to admit his defeat. He's he's a very...
Hey.
You never get any hint of that. You never get the hint that like he's like, I reformed because I realized I was wrong. He's like, I reformed because Voldemort killed the woman I loved.
They wouldn't tell you that right off the bat because then it would spoil the rest of like the films from the first
No, I mean
one
at
on.
the very end. I mean like very end where he's like
We're getting-
revealing his motivations and we're like looking into like Snape's memories and stuff. That's literally what we see.
Okay. I think.
What do you think?
I think we're talking a lot about Harry Potter in an episode of Space Jam, and let's just keep going with the news.
That's my fault.
All right. Yeah,
No,
let's keep moving.
No, it was fun sitting here listening to you guys get very heated over Snape.
Oh
But,
yeah, no, I got really heated compared to Ahmed. Yeah, definitely. I was the one yelling and screaming and
Shut up.
and you were totally quiet the whole time. You didn't say anything.
Hey. Anyway,
Tune in for the Harry Potter episode coming
That's gonna be a real heated one, isn't
sometime.
it?
I don't know.
We'll do like an entire
Like a
the entire
retrospective?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on in the news now.
Let's
We
speed
barely
it-
even talked about Young Justice,
Yeah,
but
let's
like
speed up the news.
speed up the news. What does that mean? Let's
Well,
skip
it's-
to the next like really important thing. Important to us. The Mandalorian adds Nick Nolte, which I don't actually care about the Nick Nolte part, but the Mandalorian's coming out,
Isn't it
and I
Nick
forgot.
Nolte?
Is it Nolte?
Isn't it Nolte?
I'm not sure. Maybe
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte?
Nolte. That sounds like a
He's
Calvin
Nick-
Klein
Nick
product,
Nolte.
or like some
Nick
kind of
Nolte
like
by
cologne.
Calvin Klein.
Nolte by Calvin Klein.
Oh no, that was way better. God damn.
You have to have the resonance in your voice.
I don't know how to say his
Nick
name anyway.
Nolte by
Nick
Calvin
Nolte.
Klein.
Well, sometimes it's like a
Nick Nolte by
woman with a
Calvin
really deep
Klein.
voice as well.
Nick Nolte by
Nick
Calvin
Nolte
Klein.
by Calvin Klein.
Makes you smell like a bear.
A bear?
A bear?
Yeah, the most wild scent. I don't know.
all right, let's just keep going.
Anyway, the
There's some
main
issues
reason I
going.
wanted to bring this up was not Nick Nolte's name. Nick Nolte, whatever. It's the Mandalorian.
Just call him Nick N. All right.
Nick N.
Nicky boy.
Nicky boy.
Don't call him Nicky. All right, whatever. Just keep going. I'm sorry.
Anyway, the Mandalorian, which is the new Star Wars thing coming out on the Disney Plus, whatever it's called.
God, it's so stupid how like everyone is trying to do a friggin' like
Streaming
streaming
service.
service.
Well,
now, yeah.
that's where the money's at.
It is.
Yeah, but then it's like it's gonna be too much, you know?
Yeah, because who wants to pay for like a million different ones, right?
Exactly. Right now it's great because it's just like Netflix.
and
Well, you know
Hulu.
what's gonna happen is there's gonna be that competition, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like how original in-store movie buying was, where you'd have different retailers providing all of the content.
It's gonna end up being just kind of like cable, where like you pay for a plan and then you get like these services.
Yeah, it'll like
and-
come back
yeah.
full circle.
But
It'll
that's-
just be a package system in a different
But
format.
like right now we're in the sweet spot where we just kind of get that stuff for very low prices, and it's very
I feel
nice.
like because everybody's doing it, it's gonna really fall flat on its face.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if all those will actually be able to compete with Netflix at this point because they're kind of late to the
Disney
party.
Plus definitely can because they have so many properties. Disney has like a million properties, right? Like they can compete, but like let's take DC. I don't think they can, especially because their flagship thing was Titans.
And that's also, they don't need their own platform. Like, they should go to a platform and put all the DC stuff on there. Like, Marvel uses Netflix for their TV shows. They don't have a separate Marvel platform.
Except, which we'll get to, they canceled all of them except for Jessica Jones and
That's
Punisher. But that's just because
coming.
Because they're like either in production or finished production.
Are we going to talk about that today?
Which does actually lead to the next
yeah.
topic, which is that Marvel is promising more Daredevil adventures after Netflix cancellation, which could mean one of two things. One, it probably means that Disney Plus is coming up and that they're going to bring back Daredevil on Disney Plus.
I think I heard that they're not that show is done, but the point is like the character is still going to be used in the. There are rumors that he's going to show up in the next Spider-Man movie, which I don't think.
Really?
I don't really believe that.
I would be so down.
It's kind of
That would make me
interesting.
very
Here's the
happy.
thing. I want a Daredevil movie. Like I'm like
Yes.
seeing it. That's the other thing that I was like likely
We
is
had
that
a
he's gonna
Daredevil
be
movie.
like
We do not speak of that.
what?
Are we going to
talking
talk about that eventually? We're going
No.
to do an episode on that.
It doesn't exist.
Jake, what are you talking about?
You guys don't remember, do you? The
don't.
incident?
Anyway, we're done with this bit.
But yeah, I would be so happy if they announced like a Daredevil movie, which I
Yeah.
think could happen.
Because the thing is, what those shows got wrong, it was just like the writing fell flat. Like all the castings I feel are really strong.
They do a really good job on the casting.
Casting is so good with Marvel.
Charlie Cox is so good. He's so good.
Yeah.
It would be such a shame to just like have him
Yeah.
not be able to do this character because.
And here's the thing: is that they definitely. It's not like they canceled it because Daredevil was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, I've heard a lot. I haven't seen season 3 because I'm bad at keeping up with things. But I've heard that season 3 is like amazing. So that's not. And also, Netflix doesn't care about quality. They decided that 3 Seasons Why deserved a second season
13
and then
Reasons
a
Why?
third season. 13 Reasons Why.
You said 3 seasons. Why?
That's what I heard, too.
They decided that 13 Seasons Why deserved. What I said?
Ahmed speaking. Take 2. Go. Mark.
I said seasons again. I said 13 seasons. 13 reasons why deserved 13 reasons why deserved a second season, and it did not. It did not. Also, they decided, what's that Debbie Ryan show that came out?
Ugh, I don't.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Man,
Man, you're really getting under the skin of all the Debbie Ryan fans.
Shut up.
Watching
It
the
doesn't.
podcast.
It doesn't really matter.
Which I assume to be none of
the
you.
one where
It's
it was like,
it's a huge overlap actually.
anyway, the point is
think so?
Netflix doesn't
Yeah.
care about quality at all. Like, so that's not the reason.
Well,
Like,
it's. Sorry, I got distracted by the sound I was making. Anyway,
Should I just keep doing that sound while you talk? I'm sure that won't mess up the audio.
hey,
he got distracted by the sound he was making.
hey, I hate myself so much.
Oh.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. It doesn't. Oh, I forgot again.
Something about we talked about.
Oh no! Apparently,
Netflix, something.
a lot of the Netflix Marvel shows have had like a serious drop of viewership. So it's not necessarily the quality was worse. It's just that people weren't really coming back. But also Netflix wasn't really pushing it. It's just a whole thing. Like it's like a lot of factors. But bottom line, Daredevil's canceled, but the character isn't gone.
Yeah, I'm
Hopefully.
fingers crossed for a movie. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see.
The thing is, they'll probably do all new casting if they do a movie.
No.
I don't know. They don't usually, for a lot of the show versions of like comic book movies.
But this is kind of different because
Yeah.
Disney is kind of licensing both in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like because Disney is in charge of all the characters, both in the shows and
maybe
in
for
the
Marvel.
movies. There's
I guess
no reason.
what's making me think of it is like some of the DC
Yeah.
shows.
But
like you have
that's
the
a difference
Flash,
'cause
and
that's
then you
'cause
have
yeah, but
the Flash in the movies.
That's because it's like separate universes.
Yeah,
and
right.
not.
Also, I feel like there's a weird thing with like, I guess licensing and like things like that.
Yeah.
But I think,
But
Disney
it's all
owns
Disney and
everything.
Marvel, so-
like they
Yeah.
own everything, so they don't need to do that. And you talk for a while, so that.
Yeah.
Real quick, Blue Beetle and Zatanna have sort of discussing like movies that might be coming.
That's what I'm excited for. All right.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
that.
I'm super.
Oh man.
super hyped.
I'm hoping so badly.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna happen though. There's not a huge following. Well, then again, you got like Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knew who they were until they got their movie. So
True.
Yeah. What's next?
There is Marvel is developing a Shang-Chi movie, which nobody's ever heard of Shang-Chi at all.
That was actually Shang-Chi. That's like what he's like Shang-Chi Kung Fu Master or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was one of the original ideas that Marvel had for when they pitched like movies. Like it was like Iron Man, Shang-Chi, I think Captain America, and like one other person.
Interesting.
Who it might have been Thor, but I don't think he even was Thor. And but then like once Iron Man was like a huge hit, they were like, oh, let's just like roll with that.
Right.
that really was like they set that off with the first Iron Man movie,
Yeah.
which I still think is really solid.
Interesting. But yeah, Shang-Chi, who is basically just really good at martial arts, is his big thing. Is
I'm on board for that.
But I'm kind of on board with that because especially I think Marvel is a great job of doing fight choreography, especially the Russo brothers. So I'm excited to see that.
I think my favorite might be all of the fighting in Civil War.
Oh, it's so good.
Really,
Especially
really good
like
stuff.
they're so good at like close stuff. Like obviously the airport scene is really solid, but then even like what I forget exactly. I think it's like Bucky breaking out. when
That's
he
my
first-
favorite part of the
That
whole
was
movie.
it's so good. Like especially Black Panther's fighting in that is top notch.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
We need to do a whole episode just about fight choreography.
Yeah. And then they completely downgraded in Black Panther, let's be honest.
That's true. No, okay. Just the final act.
The final act.
But before that, it's so good. Like
really-
like the
It
casino
was.
scene. The casino scene is
Yeah.
so
Oh,
good.
it's fantastic.
yeah, here, like, they just. I love Black Panther. I think it's a great movie, but that final fight,
It's
just
so
not as good
bad.
as it could have been.
I actually just watched the
There's
video.
too much of them like holding on the guys who aren't Black Panther. Like you have, hey, look, there's a guy with a rhino.
It's just
That's cool.
it's just
Where's
Rhinos
Black
were
Panther? I
cool,
want to
though.
see Black Panther.
But here's the fighting wasn't actually like that exciting because it was like two CGI things
Yeah.
just like smashing each
in
other.
a dark like tunnel that looked like
Yeah.
it. If
I think a
you
lot
just,
of it was due to the lighting and like the set.
Yeah,
piece.
I just watched a video on it. It was just like about like all the I forget. It's like Marvel's problem with CGI and how like they used to make a lot more practical things and now they're just kind of like replacing a lot of things with CGI and it doesn't always work. And that was it's like such a big point because like it's clear the director understands fight choreography. He did Creed, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
And the choreography in that movie up until that point is really solid, but then at the end it's just like a just all CGI, and there's like it's just not exciting, and you just see two animated guys like hitting each other, and it looks so fake and it's terrible.
Yeah. But but I think that Shang-Chi will be a good thing just because it's pure martial arts and they won't be able to CGI that because it's an actual
Yeah.
person. So I think I'm really excited just to see just because it'll be fun.
I wonder
like,
who they would even
choreography.
cast for that.
I have no clue.
Because Hollywood has a bad reputation of just casting white people as Asians.
I think
So
for this one they
hopefully
probably won't do that.
they'll not do that and actually cast
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
Asian person.
It'd be
That'd
great
be
to see
nice.
somebody who's like can do like action in an American movie who's not like Jackie Chan or something.
Yeah.
Because like
Well, Jackie Chan also he's a little bit older at this point.
Yeah.
They couldn't. They,
Yeah.
they- I mean, they could bring
Jackie
him in,
Chan
but
as Shang-Chi.
yeah.
No, don't change his age at all. He's still supposed to be 20. And just put Jackie Chan in the movie.
man, can we just talk about how great Jackie Chan is?
I
He
love
is
Jackie
great.
Chan.
He's so great. I love him so much.
Such a sweetheart. You know he's like really good at singing.
He
I
is?
did not
Yeah.
I
know
did
that.
not know that.
Yeah. Like I think there's like a video of him doing Be a Man from Mulan.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Ahmed, find that in post and put it up.
I can't put it up. That would be copyright.
You play like 5 seconds of it and you won't get struck.
That's not how that works.
Well, do
hey,
it.
no,
Whatever.
we're
I'll
what's-
put in the description.
No, what's the thing where if you we're reviewing it.
Yeah,
Or
we'll review
Oh,
it.
so
Yeah,
it
there
becomes
you go.
fair use.
There
yeah,
you go.
it's
That's
where-
But yeah, is that all we have to say? Yeah. So hopefully and then they'll probably whoever they cast for Shang-Chi will just be the new like Chinese person they cast in every single action movie that has like a Chinese person in it. Probably
Oh, like the
new Jackie
the
Chan.
Neo Jackie Chan. Is he Chinese? I don't know what
He is.
Okay, I didn't want to assume
Yeah.
a specific.
I wouldn't
one
be
of,
like, oh, Jackie
the-
Chan's Chinese, and then
the
like
Asian
be wrong.
regions.
I checked. I made sure. I knew that he was,
I
but
knew
like
Jackie
I
Chan was
double checked.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's good with
moving
news.
on.
Can we talk about Space Jam yet? Because I have.
What? Give me a moment.
have words
just
to
a couple
be
more.
said.
Just a couple more bits of news.
You get one, and then we're moving on.
just one.
Because I.
Just say the news.
Does anyone care about Star Trek?
No,
I mean,
sorry, I
I-
really don't care about Star Trek.
I do.
Okay, cool.
Anyway,
Patrick
Space Jam. Oh, actually, I do care about this.
Patrick Stewart's Jean-Luc
Okay, yeah.
Picard Star Trek series will debut at the end of 2019, says David Nevins, whoever that is.
Nice.
So,
I really hope it's good because they did the one that was the series that was exclusive to the streaming platform, and I watched like the first episode for free, and it was garbage. It was so bad.
Damn.
What was that?
Dang.
The
Is
new
what I
one,
meant
like
to say.
Discovery, was that? Or
I don't even remember what it was
I
called
think
because
it
I don't
is
care.
Discovery.
Discovery. Yeah, I've heard bad things. And then Wes Anderson just is shooting the French Dispatch.
Is it French Dispatch?
The French Dispatch. I didn't say that.
That
right.
was like a good.
That was terrible.
Dispatch.
no, not his, yours.
The French Dispatch. Is that better?
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Still offensive? Cool. That's how I live my life.
We got to do an episode on
I
on
believe
like
they cast
characters' voices and stuff.
True.
Yeah,
'cause
so
that's
they
important. Also, I just want to do voices on the show.
also so yeah, it's gonna feature the regulars: Bill Murray, Francis
Obviously.
Ooh,
Dorman.
Bill Murray. We're gonna talk about him in shortly when we talk
Oh,
about Space Jam.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot he was in that movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Didn't you all? Okay, wait. No, I gotta.
Hold on. And
I gotta reserve it till we get to that point.
Yeah. Also, it's gonna have some newcomers: Benicio del Toro,
Ooh.
Jeffrey Wright.
I can't get excited for Benicio del Toro. Right? That's B, right?
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro anymore because he's entertaining, but he always plays the same exact character.
But that's okay. I'm
He's-
okay with that.
He's good at playing the character.
I think he
like-
does good directing.
Just-
But like I would rather have
That's
him.
Guillermo del
Guillermo
Toro.
del Toro.
Has he
That's
not
Guillermo
directed
del
anything?
Toro.
Are you sure?
He might.
I
have
mean,
done-
but I think you're thinking of Guillermo del Toro.
No, I know
and
Guillermo del Toro, but I'm pretty sure Benicio del Toro has also directed stuff too.
he might have done. I curse me. I just assumed that he was just an actor. And I'm not.
I don't know, it's possible. I'm not even gonna say it's possible. It is the fact that I'm just a huge idiot. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if I mix those two up because
Well,
I'm an idiot.
he has 2 directing credits for
What-
7 Days in
All right.
Havana and Submission.
Good job,
So,
Jake.
I think you were thinking of Guillermo del Toro.
Probably. All
Yeah.
right. Well, you can leave this part in so you can display
It's
my.
okay. All right, we're done with the news though. We can talk about the
stupidity.
movie.
Please.
One more thing. Hugh Jackman is planning is doing a music tour, and I just wanted to mention that because it's ridiculous. We don't have to talk about it all, but I just wanted to say Hugh Jackman is doing a music tour. It's weird that that's just his big passion is music, and like you never knew that. He was always doing Wolverine.
He was
What?
not bad in Les Mis. I saw him in the movie
you know,
version.
before Wolverine, he was like a song and dance guy. Like that's how people like saw him. And then when he was cast as Wolverine, everyone's like, Psh,
Yeah.
that guy's a song and dance guy.
He started
He's
in
not-
musicals.
He's not Wolverine. And then he was Wolverine. And was like, oh.
Well
he's
now,
Wolverine.
well now, no one,
everyone sees him as Wolverine.
no
I've
one else
only
can
ever
ever
seen him.
be Wolverine except for him. He's
Yeah.
like the epitome. Like I think he's the perfect casting for that.
Oh yeah, except for
was.
his height.
Well, yeah, but
He
they
is tall.
usually they frame him in shots so that he appears taller. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
What was I gonna say?
But yeah, so
Oh yeah, have you seen like some of his like stuff when he's like hosted the Tonys? It's
I don't
it's
think
great.
so. I've really only seen him in Les Mis, which I think he was one of the stronger performances.
I saw
Unlike
The
Russell Crowe,
Greatest
but we're not going
Showman.
to talk about that.
I haven't seen the.
I have
Showman.
seen
Is
it.
it good?
Um,
I've heard like very mixed things about that.
It looked really generic to me. I didn't.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
here's the thing. I'm the kind of guy who just really loves like showman things. Like I love that kind of like style.
You are
of doing-
essentially like a circus director.
I can so see you in like a top hat and like one of those
Oh
jackets
my
with like
God.
the tails and then going like,
It's meant to be.
welcome to Ahmed Circus.
My name is Ahmed Eldawah. Check out this lion.
You don't know how close
Watch it
I
jump through
am
a
to
flaming
like
hoop.
buying a tailcoat. Here's the thing. We're joking. I considered buying a tailcoat for so long. Like I looked at them
For like
they're
an
like
occasion or just so you could
just
wear
to
it in
have
general?
one, just to wear it.
Why?
Because I
Because
like
he's
tailcoats.
Ahmed.
I don't know why tailcoats ever went out of style because
Because
they're
it's
cool.
not the 50s anymore,
They're
Ahmed.
cool.
The
Jake.
50s.
The 50s.
Like the 1850s.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Anyway, I just thought tailcoats are just really cool, and I know I'm not stupid, so I didn't buy one obviously to just wear around. But you know,
Hey, you do you, man.
I would totally love it if you actually got one though.
But like, I totally want. Like, I have
Space
like.
Jam.
Anyway, the point is, it was all right. It was
Space
like
Jam.
All right, so
some music was good, and that's my quick review of
Space
Great
Jam.
Space Jam. That yes.
So let's get into Space Jam.
Can I just say something?
Wow,
real
I wonder
quick?
how
Wait,
that
as
idea got in your
as
head.
we get into talking about Space Jam. So I'm gonna let you guys say whatever you want about the movie. Just leave me like 5 minutes at the end, just so I can say just what I gotta say, and that's all I ask for. All right?
All right. Also to give context, we're kind of looking at this movie from 3 different perspectives. Because Ahmed, this was his first time watching the movie.
Yep.
Jake and I have both like watched it when we were kids, like yada yada. Because obviously we're not terrible people, Ahmed. But
This is true.
but I did not watch it in preparation for this because I'm lazy. But also it gives us more perspectives. So you're welcome.
That's his
Jake,
justification.
Jake did watch it,
I watched it again last night.
and apparently he has a lot of words to say about it.
A lot, like at least 3 words.
At
We'll-
least, all right.
We'll
all right.
get, that's
three
like
words.
more than 2.
Let's get into it. I think Ahmed, you should start.
I
with-
should start as the newcomer who's never
Yeah.
seen it before. So first
Also,
thing,
let's just say spoilers because this is an older movie. Everyone's like, if you haven't seen,
Yeah,
it,
if you haven't seen Space
been
Jam,
more
just
than
watch
20
it. No matter
years.
what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think about it, it's worth seeing.
yeah, we're not gonna bother with a spoiler-free review. It's like 20 years old, like, you know,
it's also Space Jam, and everyone's seen Space Jam. Anyway, keep going.
almost everyone. Like, now I have, so now everyone sees Space
Now,
Jam
everyone has seen Space Jam.
in the world. So review. First thing I thought at the end of the movie, what the?
Wait, what happens at the end? I literally don't remember.
No, I mean like when I finished
Don't
the movie.
say too much about the
Oh.
end, because that's what I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about.
Like when I finished the movie, my first thing I was like, "What the? What did I just watch? What?"
It's amazing though, right? You can't say you didn't have fun with it.
Here's the thing:
It's a spectacle.
It is a fun movie in a lot of ways,
It's so funny.
but like,
but it's funny it's funny when it's trying to be serious, and it's not
Yeah.
funny when it's trying to be funny.
Yeah, but that's like its charm. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
good, sure. Here's the thing, and I know you want to really harp on this, Jake, but I'm just
No,
gonna
no,
say
I
it
didn't
right
say I
off
was
the
gonna
bat.
harp on it.
Bill Murray's just in this movie as Bill Murray.
Stop.
Oh, is he?
Stop.
Is he?
He's just Bill Murray.
Stop talking.
Oh,
That's
Yeah, I know you want to harp
That's
on this,
my-
Jake, but like,
that's my thing
I just
today.
want to say that right now. He's just Bill Murray. He's just playing.
Stop. Stop. I asked for one thing. You're ruining
all
it.
right. Keep
Okay,
going with.
and I'll move on. Okay, so the plot is just so ridiculous, and I don't. And it's a Looney Tunes thing, so I'm like sitting there, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like aliens want to come down and kidnap the Looney Tunes. That's ridiculous. The weird part is that
It's Michael
Here's
Jordan and the.
here's the part that about the plot that I just
They
don't
thought
get.
Michael Jordan could act. They thought wrong.
Hey,
Michael Jordan thought he could play baseball. He also thought
That's
wrong.
what I want to say.
This is why
I
you
don't
get second
it.
opinions on things
Sorry.
before you do them.
I don't understand why he had to be playing baseball. It doesn't matter.
You know that's a real thing.
yeah, you know
right?
he actually played baseball, right?
I did not. I don't know.
That's real.
I
Like,
don't-
yeah, he quit. He quit basketball for a bit and played baseball, and everyone was like, "Dude, you're really bad at baseball." And he was like, "Fine, I'll go back to playing basketball." So he went back
It
to
is a
playing
little
basketball.
sad because the actual story he wanted to. I think it was he wanted to do baseball because that's what his dad
Yeah,
wanted
his-
him to do.
No,
That
his
was
dad
in the
played
movie.
baseball. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
was in the movie.
and then he tried to like make his dad proud, and everyone was like, "Just go back to basketball." And he was
just
like,
"Go back
"Oh,
to playing
okay."
basketball." I mean, like he wasn't okay. I think it's unfair to say he was terrible at baseball because he made it to the like major leagues. Like he was good enough to be in the major
Right,
leagues. He
but
was good
then-
enough to be bad
But
in
then
the
at
major
that
leagues.
point, compared to all
Yeah.
the other
Oh,
major
yeah.
leaguers, he was
and
not.
and also compared to him as a basketball player.
Given the context of knowing that now, like, to be clear, I don't know anything about sports or anybody involved in sports, so I didn't know that Michael Jordan played baseball for a time. Now that I have that context, that makes a little bit more sense. But watching that movie, I was like, why is Michael Jordan just quitting basketball to play baseball? Like, that's not necessary. It still isn't necessary to the plot, really, because it's not like he like they do a big thing in the beginning of the movie where it's like, I'm gonna play baseball to make my dad proud. They don't do anything with it. Like, he still sucks at baseball by the end of the movie.
That's true.
He still sucks at baseball.
I'm gonna make you proud, Dad. He
Like-
just doesn't.
Yeah. There's also the subplot about like the alien minions using a magic basketball to steal.
That's not a subplot.
to
That's
s-
part of the main
Well,
plot.
part of the main
that
plot.
is true. It's not a subplot. Well, it starts out as a subplot and then it ends up being like a factor in the final
Okay.
showdown. They use a magic basketball to steal like the ability of famous NBA stars who are also in the movie, and that
Who came up? What was the pitch meeting for this movie?
drugs. It was drugs.
The part about it that doesn't make sense is that they don't like try to say like the basketball is just like a machine.
Oh yeah, the
that,
part
like,
the part that doesn't make
stop,
sense.
stop. Anyway, like
The part where the Looney Tunes suck Michael Jordan down through it's like a golf hole.
Yeah,
Why is
into
it
the
golf?
animated world.
he also
But
plays
they're
golf.
3D backgrounds. Oh god.
Why is it a golf hole?
Anyway, the thing that I was saying is that they don't try to explain the basketball as a machine. It's just like a basketball, as far as we can tell. That's magic. Like, it's just a magical basketball.
I just
It operates on
God.
Looney Tunes logic, or as you can also refer to it, lazy writing, which
yeah.
is
oh my god. Okay.
everywhere in this movie.
But I haven't seen this movie in like probably I'm 17, 10 years. Like I'm like probably maybe like a little bit less than that. But I remember as like a 7-year-old thinking, wow, Michael Jordan is really bad at acting because he is so bad in this movie.
Okay, it's if any of you have seen that famous ad, I think it's from the 90s, I want to say, of Michael Jordan that he does with McDonald's where he's like,
I think that's
"Hi,
80s, like the war
I'm
on
Michael
drugs.
Jordan. McDonald's restaurant have given me this time to tell you about something we all love."
Why
Kids.
why are you doing a Mike Tyson impression?
That's what he sounds like in the thing because he can't act.
He does, that's
And
a
the
good
microphone
impression.
quality
yeah,
is
yeah,
really
yeah.
bad, and he's wearing a tan suit against a tan background, and he's talking about how much he loves kids because he's like he wants to make sure that like young kids growing up are going to be safe. And there's a very famous clip that people probably know because it was everywhere on the internet, you know, in the past couple of years, is where he goes, "If you're doing drugs, stop it. Get some help. I'm Michael Jordan. McDonald's restaurant wants to give you a chance, and so do I." And then it like fades out and plays this like musical tone. So people took that, they're putting it everywhere. So imagine that for 2 hours. But also Bugs Bunny is there and Bill Murray.
Why are you so mad about Bill Murray being in
We'll
this
get to
movie?
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me know when I can
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
go
Whoa.
off about that. Not that I'm going to. I'm going to
But yeah.
stay very reserved.
The main thing,
Definitely.
what was I on? I was on baseball. Like, yeah, so it still doesn't matter because they don't do anything with the
Yeah.
baseball plot. They're just like, he still sucks at baseball at the end of the movie, and, you know, whatever. I just don't think it was necessary because he just goes back to playing basketball afterwards.
God, there's
Hey,
so
at
many-
least he had that one scene where his dog like tackles him. And then he's like, "Oh,
Does he?
yay, my dog."
yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
when he like goes on in the
God,
dog
what?
kennel.
I'm just trying to like remember this movie. Cause
Here, do you want me to jog your memory?
yeah.
Okay.
Remind
Remember
me.
the part where they need to get his basketball equipment? So the Looney Tunes sneak into his house at night and are like trying not to wake up his kids. There's a whole like
I like vaguely
there's like a
remember that.
15-minute sequence
Yep, that happens.
in the movie.
It's so
Which is kind of just like, I feel like that was just an ad for Nike. Like,
true.
Yeah, because you see all the equipment and it has the Nike swoosh on it.
Like,
Well,
I
he's
feel
like, I think he's like, "I need my shoes at least," and they go in. And
Oh
get it.
yeah. Oh, that's right. Because he's like, I can't play without my shoes. Oh my god.
he also
yeah.
harbors on about his shorts, which was a weird thing.
Yeah, oh, it kind of reminds you. You guys know the movie Like Mike?
I don't think
Yes.
so.
I only saw Like Mike 2.
Oh,
I don't know.
No.
I don't know what that is.
it was basically, I don't know. That just reminded me. It's like this kid finds like a pair of shoes and it has like the initials MJ on it. And it's like, what? So
Oh,
he
was
puts-
that the Nickelodeon or like Disney
I-
Channel
yeah,
movie?
I think it might
where
have been.
I think it was
it's-
Nickelodeon.
It's like Michael Jordan's shoes or like some famous NBA star shoes, and it gives him
Yeah,
basketball
yeah,
powers.
because he, like, is it like he puts it on his TV? I mean, you don't know because you've only seen the second one. He like puts it on his TV something during like a lightning storm.
Yeah,
and then it like
and it shocks him and gives him the powers.
He has
I
the
remember
power of
that. I
Michael
think that was was like a made-for-TV movie
Dude,
They do the exact same thing in the second one.
from like the 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, but the second one is street ball.
It is.
In the
Street
first
ball.
one, first one is professional. Also, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Space Jam. That's what we're talking about. Space Jam. Also.
Can I just say also for the record, the main song from the soundtrack, which we considered singing at the beginning of this, but we restrained ourselves because you don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that.
Is like one of my guilty pleasure favorite songs because it's just great. I love it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
It's very catchy.
let's go back to some of the highlights of this movie. Like,
I wouldn't call them highlights, but you know.
well, you think wrong because they are.
How about the part where let's think about this? I don't know. I'm lost for words. I think I didn't finish processing it from rewatching it last night. It's gonna take me like the rest of the week to get to the point.
I think
fully process it.
I think
we can talk about Bill Murray right now.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
I
say
I think Jake,
again, Bill Murray I can't say
Shut up.
enough.
Because it's my turn. All right.
This is your
Pay
turn,
attention. If you're listening and or watching this right now, but you don't, I need your undivided attention. I honestly don't because you don't care, but like I would appreciate it. All right, let's see. So in this movie, Bill Murray shows up, and they already established early on that it's like, okay, well, you have Michael Jordan. He's playing himself. He's technically playing a character, but like it's him. And then you have all the animated characters. The thing is, you have a bunch of other like big name actors and like sports superstars and personalities who are playing characters and use different names and sometimes different voices, so it's really inconsistent. But I could forgive that if they didn't take one of those characters and like make him I wouldn't even call it a Deus Ex Machina because that makes it sound more amazing than it is. So Bill Murray's in this movie just as himself.
would you care to give us context for how Bill Murray? Because I don't remember. I remember
Okay.
Bill Murray being in it.
Let me
I don't
set
remember
this up
why
for you.
he's
Let me
in
set
it.
this up for you. Michael Jordan goes golfing after a long chain of events, which we're not going to get into because I'm going to have an aneurysm. and then he shows up and they're playing golf and it's like his manager or something is with him and there's these other guys out there golfing and one of them is just straight up is Bill Murray.
It's just Bill Murray.
It's just Bill Murray.
And I will bet that the only reason he's in that movie is because he had a contract and it hadn't expired yet. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna use you in this."
Wait, isn't that supposed to be like a reference to Caddyshack though?
Maybe
I don't know.
I don't know, and I don't care because it's so Bill Murray's just there, right? And he has a couple of lines, and I don't think he says anything significant. Not that I can remember. He's just kind of there, and
Basically,
you're
it's
like,
just like I should play in the NBA. They should just
yeah.
put me
He
in the
makes like
NBA.
some passing comments about. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I would play basketball.
Oh yeah, I totally remember that. Cause I remember I think when I was watching this, I didn't really like know who Bill Murray was because I was a kid. I was just like, I just knew him as like that like nerdy guy who
The
wanted
guy
to
from
play
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and he's like the guy who wanted to play basketball but was really bad. I totally. Oh my God,
Okay.
yes.
So Bill Murray shows up as himself. Remember, he's not playing a character. He is Bill Murray, the famous actor. And I use famous loosely here because
He's famous. What are you
Did you
talking
just
about?
say
no. See, I think if you commit egregious errors upon the film industry, you can have your status revoked.
Anyway, continue.
So Bill Murray shows up in this movie. He doesn't do anything worth remembering. You're like, okay, Bill Murray's in this movie, and then we're gonna jump all the way to the end. So there's this
Because
convoluted.
that was like at the beginning before Michael Jordan gets sucked down through the golf hole.
Well, what
into the
happens
Looney Tune.
after you see Bill Murray is then there's this whole exchange. Michael Jordan gets sucked down the golf thing into Looney Tunes world, and they're like, "We need your help to save the world," or it doesn't matter.
No,
And then-
because okay, I don't think we accurately or like we've given the plot. Basically, these aliens come down because there's like an amusement park world that what it's like McHammer or some something
Moron Mountain.
and
yeah,
they
no,
need
but like the main guy who's like the main alien guy. It's
the
like,
big boss alien
it's
guy.
like
Yeah,
Macho Hammer.
he
or
sends
something.
down a bunch of his henchmen because he has this plan to use the Looney Tunes as is it the Looney Tunes at first or is it Michael Jordan?
No, it's Looney Tunes.
It's Looney Tunes.
And then it becomes also
and then
Michael
it becomes
Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
As like basically events in his theme parks so that he can get more people to come to the alien theme park. So he sends these aliens down. They steal the powers of a bunch of like.
No, but first, what happens is doesn't Bugs Bunny challenge them to a game of basketball?
Yeah, basically, like they confer for a moment. They're like, "What can these guys do? They're really short and tiny. Let's just challenge them to basketball."
Yeah. Like just on a whim,
Yeah,
he's just like, let's just do basketball, and then they realize like, oh wait, they're powered up, we're gonna lose.
Yeah, so they
they're
kidnap
like-
Michael Jordan.
They essentially kidnap Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like from
Yeah.
the earthly realm into Looney Tunes realm. So then there's this whole exchange of events. Michael Jordan tries to train them how to play basketball. There is one thing we should talk about before we finish talking about the end of the movie, which is there's a character that's introduced who you may know. Let's just cover it now because I don't want to talk about
So Lola Bunny is in this movie.
Oof,
And,
boy is she.
So
Don't sound so excited.
I'm
Pete.
not excited.
You're freaking me out,
I'm
man.
I'm not excited about it.
So here's the thing: is that again, having never seen Space Jam, the only thing I know about Space Jam is like occasionally I'll see like a clip and I'll be like, whatever. I forgot that Lola Bunny was ever in this movie, so then she like walks into the basketball court and she's like, walks in all like sexy like, and I'm like, what?
There's like close up on her butt, right? And like her tail like does like a little like.
Well, because the animators were like,
I think
how can we ensure our spot in hell?
I think that
Maybe that's a little dramatic.
that
but-
was the first. That's where the furries come from.
Yeah.
This movie spawned furries.
She's a bunny. She's an animal.
Yeah. They like.
Why? All right.
But yeah, they try like pretend like it.
And I guarantee, and some of you watching at home are like, "Whoa, what's the big deal?"
Look, here's the thing. They try to like pass it off as well because they're like, oh, she's sexy, but she's also good at basketball, guys. #feminism. Like, no. Like, she's just sexy. She's there to be like weird. And like, you're sitting there and you're just very looking at this in 2018. I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable. This
not-
is a children's movie. This is for children.
It's like really weirdly sexualized, and it's not good. And we should probably be done with it because we're pushing our time limit, and we need to talk about the real egregious sin, as bad as that is, and it is really bad. We're gonna talk about one more thing.
Yeah.
Bill Murray. I keep, getting waylaid as we're trying to talk about this. So I'll just. we'll just
you
keep on
think
going
he's
with it.
just the cameo, but go for it, Jake.
So towards the end of the film, they're in their moment of need. They're in the final game against the aliens who have been powered up by the NBA stars'
And it's like-
ability.
Is this at the point where it's pretty close, or is this like when
This
the
is. I think
aliens
it's they're losing
are,
at this point.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do to win?" And then one of the team members gets injured somehow. I don't remember. I think it might be. I think it might be Daffy
No,
Duck.
they all get injured.
They all get injured badly, but one of them is like seriously injured, and they're like, "Well, crap! Now we're down a player.
Oh my god.
Who are we
right,
gonna get
it's,
to join the team?"
It's
I
like they're-
totally remember, and then Bill Murray.
Bill
joins
Murray
the-
shows up. There's like several things to unpack. So, Bill Murray shows up.
Yep.
How did he get to animated world on his own?
Yep.
How did he know what was happening? Because he knows all the characters' names. He knows everything that's going on, even though he hasn't been there.
Well, no, because he.
And he shows up and he's like, "Hey guys, I made it." And they're like, "Oh my God, Bill Murray's here to save us!" Like they're all excited, and then they're like, "He's there to help," and he's totally useless because he's Bill Murray in a Space Jam movie, and this makes me the most mad. All right, I'll actually in the future, and I think in general, I'm not an angry person.
Oh yeah, Jake is
Like-
like the sweetest, nicest person you'll ever meet.
Thank you, I appreciate you saying that.
Except
Please
for
go
this
on.
exact moment.
Yeah, I've
But
never seen
there
him
are
this.
like I don't know.
There are very few things in this world.
We're
that make you angry.
we're very privileged people, and we don't have a lot of problems, so we like to create our own. So when I see a movie with Bill Murray objectively making me hate the movie, I'm gonna be like, that makes me mad. But the more that I thought about it, I was like, no, I actually really am mad, because the one thing that makes me the most angry, and because it's just so like they didn't care at all. He shows up and he has his own customized uniform. But it's real. It's not animated. Where did he get his own uniform? How did he get it? When did he get it? How did he get the measurements for the uniform? It says his name on it. Oh, God. I'm sorry, but like...
That's amazing.
and
I need to rewatch this movie.
it's not...
Oh,
It's not even that big of a deal, but like I'm bored with my life and I see a movie about Bill Murray. It's not even about Bill Murray.
Not about Bill Murray.
It's eating away at his mind so much. The rest of the movie like doesn't exist in Jake's mind. It's
No, it
just the Bill
doesn't,
Murray part.
because it's like
we're talking about Space Jam. It's like it's this movie about Bill Murray. He really wants to play basketball, but no one thinks he's good at basketball. And then he gets his chance to play basketball.
But that's a real movie. You could make that. It would be terrible, but you could make it. But it would be better than shoehorning Bill Murray into the end of this movie. It has nothing to do with Bill Murray. And he just shows up and he's worthless. He's worthless. And what sucks is that for Bill Murray, he's trying, I think. The acting is not atrocious, but it makes me angry because whoever put that in, it's like they had to get it double checked. So I'm not even mad at the person. I'm not even mad at the person who pitched that. I'm mad at the person who was like, that's fine.
That's a good idea. Let's put that in the movie.
Why?
Oh.
And I really try not to be angry at stuff. And I'm really not angry at this, but it's just baffling to me because there's plenty of movies with weird stuff out there, but it's so oddly specific to the point where they create so many unnecessary inconsistencies because they shoved Bill Murray in this movie for no reason. It makes me question things in general. I love
this movie.
I need to cut myself off because this is no one cares because it doesn't matter at all. It's just I bet I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and not even think about this. But for whatever reason that just really got to me. And it, I was sitting there. I already had kind of thought about this the last time I watched it, which is years ago now. I watched it again, and it's the first time, possibly, I don't know about ever, but in a long while where I was I started audibly talking to myself while I was watching the film, to the point where my sister, who's in the other room, comes up and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And
Everything okay?
she didn't, but she was she heard me saying stuff, and I was like, it's fine, because I wasn't gonna explain to her I wasn't gonna explain my mortal folly to her. I was just don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's
So
that's pretty great.
the movie ends with they win the game, and I don't know, the aliens leave, and Michael Jordan goes back to playing basketball, and Bill Murray disappears back into the ether. I don't want. This is only the second episode. If anyone is still watching, if anyone watched, period, and they're at this point and they're like, man, Jake is put him on medicine. I get it. I already am on. We're not gonna talk. But I don't think. I try not to get mad, and honestly, at the end of the day, it's a goof. It's not to be taken seriously, but for whatever reason, I think I was just so. I felt so unfulfilled. All of this rage came to a head, and it cascaded onto Bill Murray in this performance, and it's so inconsequential that the more I think about it, the more I hate myself, because I realize I could be spending time studying or researching how to cure some horrible illness or contributing to the world, but no, I took the time out of my own life. I used up precious oxygen to keep myself alive long enough to view Bill Murray in this film, and I'm sorry for that.
I think that's a good way to close that.
I'll try it.
So basically, Space Jam is a 10 out of 10 movie.